Picture this: 1620. A lone ship, battered by the Atlantic, cuts through a thick, cold fog. On board, a group of English separatists, now known to us as the Pilgrims, are exhausted but hopeful. They're escaping from the harsh religious persecution brought on by King James I, gambling everything on the promise of a new life in an unknown world. As they catch their first glimpse of the rocky New England coastline, they know there's no turning back. Before a single person steps ashore, they gather to create something truly radical for its time: the Mayflower Compact. It wasn't a grand constitution, but a simple, powerful agreement to govern themselves, to create a civil body politic. This fragile promise, drafted on a rocking ship in the middle of nowhere, was the first seed of self-rule planted in the American soil. It was an idea that would grow into something much, much larger than their tiny, struggling settlement. They named their new home Plymouth, but paradise it was not. That first winter was relentlessly brutal. Snow piled high against their hastily built huts, and the biting cold seemed to seep into their very bones. Sickness and starvation became constant companions. By the time the first spring thaw arrived, a devastating reality set in. Half of their original number, nearly 50 people, had perished. The dream of a new beginning had almost ended before it even started. But just as despair reached its peak, help arrived from an unexpected source. The local Wampanoag people, led by their sachem Massasoit, saw the struggling colonists not as invaders, but as people in need. A man named Tisquanum, or Squano, who had a complex and tragic history that included being kidnapped and taken to Europe, became their bridge. He spoke English and understood their plight. He taught them the secrets of this new land: how to plant corn using fish as fertilizer, where to catch fish and eel, and which native plants were safe to eat. This alliance was more than just a survival guide. It was a partnership born out of mutual respect and necessity. The Wampanoag shared their knowledge, and the Pilgrims, in turn, offered a potential ally in a region filled with tribal tensions. Throughout the spring and summer of 1621, they worked together, and the colony slowly, painstakingly, found its footing. The harvest that autumn was a success, a bounty that must have felt like a miracle after the starvation of winter. To celebrate their survival and give thanks for the successful harvest, Governor William Bradford invited Massasoit and his people to a feast. For 3 days, the Pilgrims and about 90 Wampanoag men shared food, played games, and celebrated together. This event, born from loss, fear, and a fragile peace, would later be remembered as the first Thanksgiving.